So I'm not a guide maker and this video won't be intended as a guide. This is going to be a bit of a breakdown and my review of Changli. Now, I skipped Jin Shi because I tried her and she just wasn't my kind of character. She was in Depths of Elusive Realms, I had some fun with her in there, but outside of that, not so much. But Changli was different. We got to try her in the 1.1 main story, and from that moment I knew that I wanted her. She felt cool, her sound effects were awesome, she looked sexy, she had a good personality. I wanted this character, and now that I have her, I want to go through a couple of different ways that you can play her, all of the positives that I've found with Changli. However, I also want to go through some of the negatives because there are some. Also, I know this video is super late. I'm really bad with making videos and getting them uploaded in a timely fashion, so I'm sorry about that. However, let's start talking about ways to play Changli and her combos. There is the most basic combo, basic attack 1 through 4. This gives her the true sight buff, allowing you to use her enhanced basic attack and build one part of her forte gauge. This is the bread and butter of her kit that we can start to build off. Now, a slightly faster way to build Forte is to use Enhanced Jump or Phoenix instead of the Enhanced Basic Attack at the end of your Basic Attack combo. This will make her use the Phoenix attack with a follow-up slam, after which she will then transition straight into Basic Attack 3. You can use this sequence to build Forte up relatively quickly by repeating the Phoenix attack after Basic Attack 4. You can also hold Basic Attack from mid-air to do a slam, which will allow you to combo straight into Basic Attack 3. By either jumping, holding Basic Attack without full Forte, or just being in the air, she can perform an aerial attack combo which ends with a Phoenix attack building Forte, followed by a slam and starting you off in the Basic Attack 3 when you're on the ground. If you hold Basic Attack to launch into the air though, this will go straight into Aerial Combo 3, making building Forte faster at the expense of more stamina if that's what you want to do. Her skill will launch her into the air before slamming her back to the ground and giving her the True Sight buff. When her Forte gauge is full, holding down Basic Attack will unleash some very good burst damage. This does take some time to fully finish, so unless you're buffed and don't care about getting hit, try to use this to punish enemies' attacks or swap cancel instead of just using it whenever it's available. Her Liberation or Ultimate is a single large amount of damage that hits really hard in a wide area and also moves her closer to the enemy, making it very hard to miss this attack in a 1v1 scenario. Her ult refills her Forte gauge, making using her as a burst DPS very viable, being able to use her Forte, Liberation, and Forte again in very quick succession. I know the blindfold removal is a really cool animation, but in terms of damage, you want to avoid wasting an almost filled up Forte gauge where you can. A quick tip in case anyone doesn't know this, if you can get Inferno Rider's full combo off, this will give 12% fusion damage bonus to Changli, making this combo that we just talked about hit a lot harder. Having said that, I don't tend to always follow this tip myself, even though I should. If you have full Forte and build up True Sight somehow, you can hold down Basic to use your Forte attack and then use your True Sight buff. This can also be done with the Forte, Liberation, Forte combo. Lastly, her counter attack is her Basic Attack 3, making gaining True Sight to build Forte gauge after dodging pretty easy. Now those are the most basic parts and combos of her kit, and you can weave and mix them together to suit your playstyle. Some more advanced combos you can use, but are more situational, is you can cancel out of her first Phoenix attack and start her aerial basic attack combo by hitting jump to open the glider and then basic attacking to cancel the glider. A more refined version of this combo looks more like this. You can also use her skill mid-air, making it possible to keep enemies juggled for a fairly long period of time. You can cancel out of her skill by hitting a basic attack and jumping at the same time, which will cause her to use the Phoenix attack instead of needing to finish the skill animation. This only seems to work from mid-air and not while the skill is started from the ground. Maybe it does, but I can't seem to hit the buttons fast enough. Using all of these tricks, you can perform some pretty cool combos and juggle enemies in the air for a fairly long period of time, and also perform her fastest Forte building combo that I'm aware of. Now, I'm sure there's more advanced tricks to learn with negative edging and Kara cancelling, and just playing the game better, but these are the things that I've been able to find. With all of her combos, even her aerial combos, you can mix and match them to suit your playstyle. So let's talk about some of the positives of Changli. The first would be she's very easy to learn. She will do everything that she needs to, even if you just button mash. She's very simple, but also has that layer of complexity where if you want to take her to the next level, you can. She also has different optimal combos for different scenarios. However, she doesn't feel like you're losing out if you're not performing her maximum damage combo in every scenario. Next, her parries are insanely good. The Forte attack has a really wide range and a really good parry window. Not only that, her basic attacks are really good at parrying, and her skill is insanely good at parrying. Her ult is the only part of her kit that you have to be pretty accurate with, but it can also be pretty forgiving because of how wide the range is. She's also a very good dodge counter unit, since her basic attack 4 will give her true sight to build Forte, and with her counter attack being her basic attack 3, she builds Forte pretty fast by dodging and counter attacking. However, there is a limit to how fast she can do this, as Crownless typically attacks too fast for her to start her basic attack 4 before you need to dodge again. So this is typically a positive, but there are some situations where you won't see the benefit from it as much. It's a similar problem to Chixia versus Morning Aches, where she has a really good skill combo, but Aches attacks too frequently to let you get that full combo off. Now, this really isn't related to playstyle, but if you like attacks that sound cool, you're not going to be disappointed with Changli. Some of her attacks just have that next level of punch behind them with how they sound, making attacks seem to have that little bit more of an impact. However, let's also talk about some of her negatives. I'm going to mention this first, since it's not flat out a negative and more of a negative depending on the scenario. When she counterattacks, she moves forward, and if she collides with an enemy who can't be moved like a large boss, she will still try to move herself forward by either going left or right. This is really noticeable on Monkey. Monkey's hologram has this Beyblade attack that you have 3 different ways of dealing with. Now, I like to typically deal with this attack by dodging and counterattacking during the attack. However, with Changli, when I would try to dodge and counter, she would move forward and then she would pick a direction when she collided with Monkey's model. If she went left, this would change the timing to dodge the next attack, which was fine, you can adjust for that, but it's not ideal. However, if she went right, she would run right into the log that she just dodged and get insta-killed. So I ended up opting to just glide over the attack to save on time. This movement isn't all bad though, since the reposition actually helps her on certain fights as well, with Crownless being the best example. She can completely dodge one of his most annoying attacks by simply counterattacking and moving out of the attack's hitbox. So I don't know whether I want this to be changed or fixed at all, since it only makes certain attacks more annoying. However, for recommending the character to someone, this is definitely an issue worth bringing up. She suffers from bad camera angles, especially the skill, which can make a fight artificially harder. Her enhanced basic actually slows down the enemy it hits for a short period of time, making dodging attacks afterwards something that you just have to get used to, and I can imagine that this would mess some people up who like to dodge based off timing. Also, once you start the hit animation of the enhanced basic attack, you can't dodge out of it until it's nearly finished animating, making it a pseudo animation lock. On this topic, her skill also animation locks you for a period of time, making it something that you can't just use whenever you want. The last negative I want to talk about is a very, very minor issue. Changli has an aerial attack combo, but she only gets 1 dodge while she's in the air. Now, I don't know how to fix this without making her busted for aerial movement, other than taking away the ability for her to reposition from an aerial dodge. Like, instead she just fades in and out of existence like Baija's dodge, but she also stays in the exact same place while in the air. The other option would be to double or even triple the stamina cost of aerial dodges, but if you perfectly dodge, it still refunds the whole amount. I love the fact that she has aerial combos, but with only 1 aerial dodge, I actively try to avoid being in the air when I'm fighting bosses. This is really a small issue though, since no matter what, you typically want to be on the ground when fighting bosses anyway, since it allows for better movement. Overall though, she is a fantastic character. The kit is cool, the animations are cool, the sound effects are cool, and I am so glad that I pulled her. However, I never like to recommend that someone pull a character since she just might not be your playstyle, but I would definitely recommend trying her in the trial, in tactical simulacra, and in Depths of Elusive Realms while her trial character is still available. With Depths of Elusive Realms though, just know that the characters in there can get pretty busted, so don't base how strong she is off that game mode. Also, I know everyone is having fun with the new character, but don't get pressured into pulling a character if you're iffy on their playstyle. I know it's hard, I knew Jin Shi was really strong, and I had that little demon in my mind telling me, just get her. I like the character in the story, she has a good character design, and the new 4-cost Echo is really cool and would be a lot of fun to use on her. But I didn't click with her playstyle, so I knew ultimately I might regret it if I pulled her. But that's all for the video. So I want to thank you so much for watching. I hope I was able to help with whatever you were looking for. If you liked the video, you can hit that like button or you can leave a comment, as I will definitely read it. If you would like to see more content in future, you can subscribe to the channel. But that will do it from me. So I hope to see you in the next video, and I'll catch yous later. Is Changli a good character? You bet she is, and there's two very big reasons why.
When women don't have huge boobs and a skinny waist, they're fat.
And they're fat.
The first is she's very easy to learn. By simply playing the character, her playstyle is very easy to pick up and start learning even without a guide.
Silly mistake.
The second reason is she strips.
Oh, yeah.
Strips the enemy's defense by 15% when using her Forte or Liberation, and by an extra 40% at S6 when using her Forte, Liberation, or her skill. She is one hot bird.
Oh, dear Rover.
I mean, just look at that Phoenix. It's fucking majestic. Damn it. The last thing that I really like about Changli is she actually teaches you how to negative edge. Because I want to negative edge all over her tits.